Hello everyone, and welcome to the Dice Commando YouTube channel. I'm Andrew, with you here as always. This is Go Again, a fabulous video cast covering the trading card game Flesh and Blood. This video and others like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. Please show your support with a like and subscribe, and be sure to hit the bell notification icon so you don't miss any new videos. If you want to get involved with the channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are many benefits to channel membership, including access to our Discord, exclusive deck tech and strategy videos, and the opportunity to help create channel content. I want to sincerely thank all our channel members, as I truly couldn't do this without your support. You guys rock. Go Commando. Hello everyone, welcome back to Dice Commando and Go Again, a fabulous cast. I'm Andrew with you as always. Tonight joined by Teak right here. He's brought to me a Kassai deck and he said, what do you think? And I said, you know what? Let's look at it on camera. So tonight we're doing a rundown deck tech of his Kassai deck. Hey folks, thanks for tuning in tonight. Tonight we are, as you can see, live on location from Gongai Games here in Portland, Oregon. We just got done with our Classic Constructed tournament for the night, and Teak is here joining me. How's it going, my friend?
Doing all right, man. You know, just hanging out, having fun.
So, how the heck did we meet? Why are you here? What's going on with this?
Well, you know, I've been a long-time Magic player, played for about 10 years, and I was recently introduced to Flesh and Blood, and I got really into it. I really enjoyed the game. Rhinar is my homie. I really like him, but I was introduced to a bunch of different heroes as I went through the card galleries, and Kassai really jumped out at me as a really cool warrior build. And I picked up a couple boxes of like Welcome to Wrathe, Crucible of War, and a couple of others, and built this list out of basically just whatever I pulled.
Perfect. So first off, what either lore-wise or game-wise, what attracted you to Kassai as really your second hero, right?
Yeah, Kassai is pretty much my second hero after Rhinar. I like him because he just smashes his face and goes hard. But with Kassai, I like the idea of building a bunch of copper up, playing cash-ins, and just swinging the swords like crazy.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, so that's actually a really good intro. Before we go through the deck list, and then so the plan tonight is what we're going to do is go through his deck list, and then I have quite a bit of reps with Kassai, so we're going to kind of talk and hopefully get it in a good spot.
Sure.
But you are using an interesting sword choice for Kassai. What are you going with?
I am playing with the Dawnblade right now, simply due to a lack of sabers in my area.
Okay.
It's built around this. It's built around the Dawnblade, so lots of reprise cards that you would normally use with Dorinthea, and lots of Go Again with the swords. I'm using the refraction bolters. I'm using pretty much anything that you would use with Dawnblade, simply because I don't have the tools necessary to use the sabers yet. Once I get the sabers, I'm going to definitely do some upgrades, and with this video tonight, that's also part of the goal, is to upgrade, change, do some motion around it.
Yeah, so then the obvious question there is, what's kind of the overall deck so Warrior, we know how Warrior gives Go Again. We got that down, right?
Yeah.
So how are you handling the not being able to swing again mechanic of Dawnblade?
You know, that's a good question. I just kind of I try to use things like Glint of Quicksilver, and I tried to use I use the refraction bolters as much as possible.
Okay, you mean by Glint? You mean twinning, right? Because twinning is the one that lets you attack again with the card.
Oh,
Glint gives you Go Again, but twinning lets you attack again with the card.
Is that the difference? Okay, maybe that's where I'm having the challenge. Yeah, because I've been trying to work on it. I played with Dorinthea first, and I switched over to Kassai once I opened her. So maybe that's where I'm having the challenge.
Yeah. So Kassai, obviously, as you know, for those of you, most of people ever know, but we'll have good radio here, right? So Kassai lets your second weapon attack be one less, which is really cool because in theory you can lower the cost curve of your deck, right? Or get more fun out of more mileage out of the same pitch.
Yeah.
The drawback is that Dorinthea, when she's using the Dawnblade, lets the Dawnblade attack again, but Kassai does not do that, right? So Teak has to use cards to allow it to do that, right? So let's go ahead and run down the list, keeping in mind the glint for twinning. So we have Red Dauntless ×2. We have 2 Driving Blades. Love that with Kassai. Hit and Run. These are all reds. Iron Song Response. Nature's Path Pilgrimage. These are all 2-ofs. Push Forward ×2. Razors ×2. You have 1 Route, 1 Red Scar, 2 red Steel Blades, 2 red Strokes, love that card as well, and 2 Warrior's Valor, that's a staple. You have 1 copy of Cash In. I'm assuming you'll get another Cash In
That's,
at some point.
yeah, that's the hope.
Yeah, so 2 copies of Cash In, effectively. 2 Hit and Run yellows. 1 Determination. 1 Iron Song Response. 2 Push Forward yellows. 2 yellow Razors. 2 yellow Scars. 2 Strokes and 2 Valors. And then 2 copies of Glint, the Quicksilver, or in this case, Twinning Blade, right?
Yeah.
So what I see here, of course, is, as we kind of alluded to, is a relatively low pitch.
Yeah, seeing how many 1s and 0s there are on the across most of the curve, I figured I didn't have to have a bunch of blues in there. Playing Rhinar and looking at some of the other heroes, you end up needing a lot of yellows and blues because lots of Rhinar's attacks cost 2 and 3. But with her, noticing how many low-cost cards, similar to Ninja, I figured I could go with a lower pitch curve.
Yeah, I mean, running a cheaper Kassai is definitely an option because it gets you more mileage. One of the other things, so this is where, after looking at this list, one of the things that, one of the primary differences between her and Dorinthea, aside from the obvious sword thing, is that Dorinthea needs that 3-pitch, right? Dorinthea needs a setup, a swing, and a second swing, right? That's like Dorinthea 101. So what you're essentially trying to do here is keep it a 2, right? Keep it a yellow pitch. However, I found with some of my Kassai stuff that if you keep that blue pitch line, right, kind of the same cost curve, or same pitch curve, I should say, you can do bigger stuff. And one of the examples I like to use is, and you have it in here, is Driving Blade. Right? Driving Blade is awesome with Kassai because it costs you your 2, which you would normally, right, in a normal warrior case, you'd want a 1 pump, 1 swing, 1 swing.
Sure.
But because your second swing is free, you can 2 pump, 1 swing. And Driving Blade gives you the bonus, but it's a guaranteed go again. It doesn't have to hit.
Yeah,
which is really, really good for her because you can follow up with the second swing.
Sure.
Right? Now, obviously, that's more of a Saber play, but we know you're driving there anyway.
Yeah.
So that would be the. There's another card in here. The red shunt is a lot of times because you're using that for its defend, or sorry, for its ability instead of its. I mean, don't get me wrong, 2 defend is great, but a lot of times I find that Shunt is one of my favorite pitch cards, right? So I like to run blue Shunt.
I did have them in here originally.
Yeah.
I did have the 2 blue Shunts because I did open them, and I switched for the red just for the higher defense value if I did have to defend, and I just kind of looked at my cost and went with the red one, but I could definitely switch back to the blues very easily.
Yeah.
Just for that pitch value. It does make a lot of sense.
Because I think what you can do in that case is, because I don't see like sinks or fates in here, so
No,
if you
I've cut most of the
wanted
defense
to,
reactions.
if you're worried about, yeah, exactly, if you're worried about the larger defense reaction thing, you could just run more of those and then skew to a slightly higher pitch.
That makes
just
sense.
to help you.
Sure.
And then one of the things we forgot to mention is walk us through the equipment that you're using currently.
Some of this stuff was just stuff that I opened and that I had available. I know that there are some Arcane characters that I have to be aware of, things like Viserai and Chane, however long Chane sticks around with how he's been winning tournaments. But this is just kind of a suite of armor that I had, a couple pieces for each body piece. And I plan on switching them out, especially since I just recently opened a box of Arcane Rising. I want to add maybe some more Arcane cards in there and some Ironhide stuff from Monarch.
Sure.
And then after that, it's basically just trying to switch out for higher rarity equipment, Majestics, and then, of course, if I can get legendaries. Of
course. So the one thing I thought was actually a really good call here is Blood Drop Brocade, so I'm just going to read it again for good radio. But so instant, destroy it to gain a resource. Activate this ability only if you've dealt or have been dealt damage this turn, right? I actually don't hate that for your shunts. Right?
I've been playing a little bit of Monarch Sealed. We've done it here a couple of times, and opening up the packs, I've seen the power of it, because having that instant resource when you need it, whether to play a defense reaction or to swing with a sword, has proven really, really good.
Yeah, I mean, because we've seen many a time that, especially with, well, I'd say with both of them, but especially with Kassai, running like a Tunic instead of Courage. I know that sounds crazy, but running Tunic allows you to kind of stock up, and then you can pay that to pay for your shunt, right? So this is effectively kind of the poor man's Tunic, right?
It has behaved that way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't hate that at all. And then I mean, Bolters is a no-brainer.
Yeah, must have.
Yeah. So I mean, overall, I think what you could do, so push forward is just one cost, right?
Let me bring up Push Forward really fast. We'll take a look at it. Don't mind me as I search through my cards. So push forward. It reads as, your next weapon attack gains +3. If you have attacked with a weapon this turn, your next attack this turn gains Dominate. Go again.
Okay. So that's just a front pump card.
Yeah, and it's 1 cost.
But it's your next attack gains Dominate. If you've attacked
this with a weapon this turn, the next one gains Dominate. So if you swung with 1 Saber, the next Saber gains Dominate.
Right. So in mine, I play red pitch only. I play... that's a lie. I play 1 yellow pitch. I play 2 red and 1 yellow of second swing.
Okay. And that is the card that I was looking for in Monarch. Yeah.
For sure, right? And that again fits into that. You can do more with you can get more mileage out of your pitch, right? With Kassai, because the second swing you don't have to pay for, which means you can play another pump card, right? So that's kind of more so just to point it through. It would be like a Spoils of War or a Warrior's Valor into your first swing. Your second swing would be free, so you can use that additional resource for your second swing.
Sure.
And second swing is 1 for +4 on the second swing, which is no joke.
Yeah, right? Definitely. That's pretty powerful. Just playing with some Welcome to Wrathe sealed when I played Dorinthea with Dawnblade, having that pump on the second swing can be killer if you've already had somebody defend for a lot. So having that with that second Saber, I can imagine is just as powerful.
I like it. And then you're playing a full... So blue hit and run. Hit and run is one of those cards where, again, you're not generally playing it for the second +3, right? Usually you're using hit and run to give go again if you need it.
Yeah.
So I would skew the red hit and runs to the blue hit and runs.
Okay.
Right, because it's one of those where you get kind of more mileage out of the same effect.
Sure,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
yeah, having that additional pitch value, I can imagine that's pretty strong when you need it. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
And you do need, even though I completely agree that you can run a much lower curve, but you do still have to worry about arcane damage. And having the blues for your arcane damage is important, right?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So, yeah, I've built my Rhinar deck to be extremely aggressive. Lots of just like big swings every single turn, not a lot of defending. So I can imagine that wouldn't behave quite the same in other builds, and that's something I just have to kind of compensate for without having that experience yet.
Yeah, makes sense. Well, I mean, I think this is. I mean, there's a lot of really fundamentally good stuff here because, heck, it is. The determination, Ironsong determination, that's target sword. So I think that's a little challenging for. I know you're doing it for Dawnblade.
Yeah.
But I think that one can definitely go with your multi-swing build, with your Saber build.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I think, is pretty decent. I mean, you might even consider running like blue driving blades, just because, again, it's a guaranteed go again.
That makes sense.
It's kind of like you could go either way on that and see where you're falling on your blue pitch.
Sure.
But that's not a horrible option either.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd... Aside from like going through and looking at the specific... By the way, the Scar for Scars, I love that choice.
Right. Yeah, I wanted to have an attack with Go again,
love it.
Just being able to swing in for 3 or 4, I mean, they're fine by themselves for 0, like not having to pay cost to play them, just being able to get in with an attack if I don't have the ability to kind of make my sabers or my sword more powerful.
Well, and remember, a lot of time you're going, especially in, I think it works really well in this, not that it doesn't, it has Go again anyway, but because you could do it into that, but Scar for Scar doesn't always have Go again, right? Because you might be, but so you can do your Dawnblade thing, and even if you can't swing the second time with Dawnblade, you can follow it up with the other attack.
Sure.
So I do like your play here of having 0 drop attack cards, right? And there's, I mean, we could bring like Ravenous Rabble is something that you could continue, or especially because they have such a low cost. Now, granted, I'm telling you to go to a higher cost curve, but with your current cost curve, you could look at Ravenous Rabble because it's going to hit for 4 or 3 most of the time. Talking red Rabble only.
Sure.
But then there's other stuff out there like your Snatches, right? Is a 0 for 4.
Sure, I see. I was looking at that card too. That's pretty strong.
So I don't hate the angle here, except for the fact that you're most of the time not getting advantage out of Kassai's ability, right?
Yeah.
So then the question would be, why not run Dorinthea, except for the whole cash-in play, right? But then again, you're not cashing in without swinging, so...
Yeah, and that's kind of the big goal, is to get the sabers and kind of retool the deck a little bit, and you're definitely giving me some cool ideas to better utilize sabers and also better utilize Kassai. And hopefully down the road we get some more copper like utility cards that we can use. We get that stuff, like whether it be attack cards or drawing cards again or something similar, it could definitely be pretty sweet.
Okay, well, awesome. Well, I think that's my piece. What do you got tonight? Anything?
I mean, I wanted to definitely get some ideas, and you've given them to me, and I've had some ideas in my head, definitely adding to my suite of armor, because you are allowed to have that, like, 10-piece suit of armor, so that's my main set now, is retooling the deck, upgrading it like you've suggested, or maybe sticking with my own plan, just trying it out. And then adding to the suit of armor.
Yeah.
I've picked up some armor pieces for other heroes. Most notably, I did open a Skullbone Cross Wrap for Rangers.
Oh,
so
nice.
that's definitely going to be my next deck. But yeah, it's going to be picking up suits of armor. That's going to be my next goal for pretty much all my heroes. I have an eye on getting scab skins for Rhinar, and then just kind of building up that stuff, because you only need one piece of those compared to 2 to 3 cards for everything else.
And Scab Skins is relatively cheap right now.
Exactly.
At least as of the day of shooting this.
I've been keeping an eye on it since June. It's dropped about $40.
Yeah.
I've been appreciative of that.
Yeah. Well, cool. So again, I just wanted to, for those of you who watch, we play at Ganga Games. We just got done playing here. Come out and join us.
Yeah,
and
100%.
You are judge now?
Yes,
right?
I have been confirmed as a judge, and I will be working at the Road to Nationals event for Fable Hobby on September 4th. So if you guys are in the Portland area or Washington area, we have slots available, so feel free to come and play. I'll be there yelling at people, and hopefully everybody's having a fun time.
Cool. Well, awesome. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
Give a shout out to our boys at Ganga. Just remember, you can when you go to checkout, code Commando10 at checkout gives you 10% off your purchase, not just of Fab, but of anything else.
Sweet.
I don't see any kickback from that. It's just supporting our LGS, and they're great people and they deserve it. So go check them out.
100%.
Other than that, thank you very much for coming
sir.
on here.
I appreciate having the opportunity to talk your ear off, so I like it.
Hopefully we'll be able to do this again, and
yes,
maybe without face masks next time. So.
Hopefully.
Anyway, folks, thank you very much for joining us. Make sure to, are you into Kassai? Do you have reps with her? Let us know what else we can do if you're interested in Kassai. Hopefully this helped. And
yeah, send me deck lists. I'll check the comments on this video when it comes out, and if you guys have any updated suggestions, I'll take them all.
Get this man some sabers.
That's
man.
right.
So.
100%.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in, and if nothing else, go Commando.